Previously, the group took a minute or two to attempt to process the fact that Zaya was gone, before they unanimously decided that ignoring it and dealing with that particular fact could wait until they weren't in such a precarious situation and, down a party member before a major fight. They backtracked to the original room they'd entered that had the statue in it. After a conversation with said statue, it agreed to give them a night's rest if they needed it before they went into the last room to attempt to fight the powerful shadow spawn within. After some back and forth, they decided to temporarily split the party in order to go check on their ship, which was still above them. Keelan, Oz, and Sean went swimming out of the cavern and back towards the surface, while Taria, Tornek, and Batalya remained behind. Team Ship quickly came to the unpleasant discovery that a Praetor ship had found their ship, recognized it, captured the somewhat unwilling crew, and was planning on sending some type of small, limited travel submersible under the water so that the Praetors could enter the cavern the rest of the group was in. Because, that was just what they needed. Luckily, the three of them were not seen or noticed by the Praetors, even when Sava went up to do some additional spying, so they were able to head back to the rest of the group to fill them in. There was a brief argument about whether or not they should try to fight the Praetors or use magic to attempt to sink the Praetor ship then and there before they made the decision to give up on getting a rest and simply fight the Shadow Spawn as is. If they won, they'd get a boost in power. If they didn't, well, they wouldn't have to worry about the Praetors at least. The statue's mouth opened wide, and an opalescent door appeared within it. The group headed inside, all of them prepping spells and preparing to fight as they walked forward. And, was it a fight! The mask ride inside used illusions to hide both its location and the fact that Sean had been knocked unconscious by it. The group pushed through, constantly bringing poor Sean back to consciousness as the Shadow Spawn kept attacking her as she had no way of getting away from it. They eventually weakened it enough that they could use the ritual to banish it, but it took several attempts as the Shadow Spawn didn't want to go anywhere. Towards the very end, the Masquerite tried to cast Alter Reality, but Taria managed to stop it from happening. Once the Shadow Spawn finally was banished, the entire group, minus Batalya, who'd struggled during the fight due to her own shadow nature, suddenly felt significantly stronger than they had a moment earlier. They were also healed of all their injuries, and their magic was restored. They were also each given a pick of whatever prize they wished from the cache. Sean chose travel, and she was able to immediately give their ship 2 magical upgrades. It could now fly and become a submersible. Tornak chose beauty. He became more charismatic, and his body suddenly became his ideal version of itself, which meant it didn't really change much. Keelan chose precision. A bow appeared in front of him with white feathers all over it. It was called the Ark of the Alicorn and had some very interesting properties to it. Taria chose knowledge. She received a circlet that increased her intelligence, made her more skilled in several ways, and allowed her to read any language. Oz chose bulwark. He received a very nice armor to wear. The group looked around, quickly picking up that the only way out of the room was to press the crystal and presumably to go back into the main room, where there was a good chance there might be Praetors waiting for them. And that is where we left off.